What's going on to all our kings and queens out there? Welcome to another episode of the Wakanime Nation podcast. I'm your boy Hisagi, joined by my homie Hook. What's going on, player?
Man, I'm feeling wonderful today, man. We got planned today.
What we got planned, Hook?
We gotta draw your sword or keep it sheathed. This is my segment. Where I can talk, do my little thing. You think we got good news? You think we gonna hit a banger and get all of them today, or you think it's gonna be a?
I don't know that one draw your sword, keep it sheath new segment we had. You had like 3 or 4 bangers in a row, things
Yeah.
that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you could replicate that greatness,
I
but
mean,
we'll see.
when you had to pull out that sword that first time, I was like, man, I'm doing something. I'm out here, inspiring the young man out here. So maybe I could do it again
Anywho,
today. But,
let's give the people what they want.
all
Let's
right.
let's start.
So if you haven't known, or if you don't know, Nintendo has introduced a new, system. They're calling the Nintendo Switch Pro. It's supposed to be an updated version, even though it's not really that updated. And I don't think it's necessary. But do you want to draw your sword or keep it sheathed?
I, I okay, we're not starting off good. Hook.
What?
I'm gonna keep it sheath on this
Dang!
one.
But you love the
Like
Switch. I ain't seen Asagi play his Switch in a minute. He said he was
it's
playing
not
Fire
even.
Emblem. He was getting through all 3 stories. I think he's stuck on the second story. I don't know. He ain't updated in a while, but Asagi love his Switch.
I mean, it's not that. First of all, don't be a snitch and tell everybody where I'm at on Fire Emblem. I'm not stuck. I'm gonna finish it.
You a little
Second of
stuck,
all,
bro. I don't know what to tell you.
I yeah, Nintendo needs to stop. They making too much money off of us, giving us the same thing. The Switch does not need an update. We
Well,
don't need another console.
hey, when they went Wii to Wii U, they was like, y'all need this update, and we was looking like we don't. The Wii just came out 2 years ago. What we need a new system for?
W-
At least the games
Well,
are still gonna be compatible. You
well,
guys.
my sword is still sheath, so we can move on.
All right, so let's hit topic number 2. One Piece chapter 1015. We saw the entrance of Sanji, the third strongest of the monster trio. He did some action. Do you want to draw your sword to keep it sheath?
I'm gonna draw my sword.
I
We've been
appreciate
talking
that.
a lot about we've been talking a lot about One Piece. This is your number one, your favorite anime. For me, it's in the top 10, but it's not up there. Anywho, the most recent chapter, I did read it.
What?
Um,
Wait a minute.
I didn't.
Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. No, no. Do your thing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna drink
thank you,
something to keep me quiet.
thanks, Skip. Anywho, I read it. I'm not liking it right now. It was a cool little chapter. Luffy's alive, but we knew he didn't die. But yeah, it's a lot for me right now with One Piece. This whole arc is dragging, and when I say dragging, it is dragging like I thought Dressrosa dragged, and then I thought Whole Cake Island dragged. But Oda is really outdoing himself right now. Like this is starting to really drag. Like I'm wondering, is Luffy like Kaido beat the hell out of Luffy? Luffy fell, Luffy's getting rescued. But I'm like, is this gonna be a like Luffy versus Katakuri thing where he's gonna spend a lot of time running around and then come back and beat Kaido? Or is he gonna get saved by, Shanks or someone else? So I'm the chapter the drawings are the panels are amazing. Oda can draw the details, love it, fire. But the actual story right now is dragging too much for me. What did
Mm.
you think about it?
I mean, I was excited to see that Luffy was saved in somewhat a meaningful sense, and the subway, not the subway, dang, the submarine was coming to save him, and it made sense because the island is floating towards Onigashima, so the sub has to follow them. That way, it made somewhat sense. There were theories about possibly a kraken, or maybe the koi fish like saving Luffy because he's able to talk to animals and things like that, but not really control them. So it made sense. And now you see Sanji. Now he's entering the fray because now everybody's like, "Well, Sanji's not that strong. Well, Sanji can't do that. You saw what Zoro did, right?" And now Sanji's out there putting his hands on people, ready to handle things because Queen said well, not Queen said, but Queen was, doing a little bit too much work on Chopper, and we knew Chopper wasn't strong enough. We all knew that. Nobody was expecting Chopper to be like, okay, I'm gonna heal everybody and take out Queen, which is one of the right hand men of Kaido. So, and also to see people like Kid, like I don't know, I just like the fact that like it's things. He's using the voice of all things to contact people, to send his message out so that everybody knows he's not really dead and he's still gonna take out Kaido. I like that. Even when you facing death and you dying in the sea, even though not too many Devil Fruit users have died in the sea, that he
Right.
still has his confidence. So I'm happy for it. Why you got to do that, dog? Anyway, I'm
That's
happy. I'm
fine.
glad to see Sanji. Maybe we'll see him go full force. We haven't seen him go full force since pre-time skip. So I'm happy. Anyway, let's move on to topic number 3. This is one of your faves, Jujutsu Kaisen. The Zenin clan is basically, they got proven wrong, and Maki is catching bodies. Do you want to draw your sword or keep it she?
I'm gonna draw my sword. Let's talk about it. I you would expect this to be an extremely positive rant coming from me because I like Jujutsu Kaisen. In my opinion, it's the new age Bleach. In Bleach we had Bang Kai. In Jujutsu Kaisen we got infinite domains. So like yeah, one of the things I will say about this latest chapter with Maki, and as you alluded to, her, dropping bodies, catching bodies, whatever. I am starting to worry about Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot of people, and I'm curious to hear what you think about this. Um, Love it when like characters in a manga or anime go into a fight and you cannot predict what's going to happen. And I see a lot of that in Jujutsu Kaisen. However, I'm seeing too much of it to the point where I'm struggling to power scale this thing. Maki got thrown into the dungeon with a bunch of cursed spirits and her twin. I understand. Her twin gave Mai sacrificed herself. Magi got her little power up. She's Toji light right now. But what I'm struggling to comprehend is how her by herself with this new, I don't know, awakened power that she's learning how to use still, wiped out the entire Zenin clan within the span of like 2 chapters. I'm really struggling to understand it. She took out her dad, like KO, one hitter quitter. And my understanding is he is one of the top ranking members of the clan, being that his brother is the one that um, originally took the position as leader, and then she took out basically their like police force or fighting force, and then from there she's just taking everybody out. I, I get it. It's amazing, but I'm just like, is the Zenin clan really this weak? Like, or is Maki like really strong, like close to what Toji already was? So I don't know. This last chapter, the theatrics
Mm,
and what happened, I liked it. And Maki is alive. We love everything that's going on. Nevertheless, it's becoming very difficult for me to power scale and try to predict things in this series, which a lot of people like, but to me, I just don't like when fights are a result of, the author's plot and he doesn't have any kind of rules to like frame of the fight in. So that's pretty much all.
mm.
How did you feel about everything?
I mean, well, starting this week, it started off a little rough with them because like the author came out saying that some of the panels were rough drafts. I'm like, why is this author putting out rough drafts? Like that don't make no sense.
Wait, Hook,
Wait,
are you kidding me?
no, I'm serious. Like he was like, I'll never put out rough drafts again. Like, cause some panels, like how like in Hunter x Hunter, like there was like like in the manga, you could see like when Gon turned into that adult form and had like that wavy look, like it wasn't finished, like he was that angry, like he was giving off that. But like some of the panels weren't finished, and it was released, and people were sort of in an uproar. But like I thought that's how they wanted to be appear, but I didn't know it was rough drafts. I was like,
So
wait a minute, this changes
now I
everything.
feel bad because
Because
I
you be
couldn't
going
tell
off
the
on One Piece, but
difference.
One Piece don't turn in rough drafts. I don't want to say that nothing,
It's
but
not even that. I couldn't really tell the difference between the rough draft
Wow.
panels and his
I mean,
actual.
I thought that was just the art style that they were going for those panels, but it's been like I guess I was like, man, that changed my view of it. You know, even though I thought it was like okay, I'm like, all right, like we don't have to say she's Toji light. She is Toji 2.0. Like he went up against Toji and realized he wasn't strong enough, and then like he felt inferior, even though he didn't have a lick of any type of power, and now he's going up against Maki and he feels the same exact way, and I'm just like, okay, that's an accurate depiction of what she's supposed to be now, and I'm ready for it because now that's a person that can be on the side and be on the Zenin clan where they can make a new Zenin clan because now you have two strong characters ready to fulfill things.
So you called her. You said she's not Toji Light. So do you think if Gojo was alive, like she would actually put up a fight against Gojo?
I mean,
Not
in
alive,
that
but
in that in
unsealed.
that fight
Sorry.
of Gojo versus Toji, Toji was actually winning until till
Right.
Gojo came to realize his full power. So
Yeah.
and then once
Literally.
that happened, he lost instantly. So I think the same thing would happen with Maki. She would lose instantly because he understands his full power. So, but
Okay.
well, yeah, Maki catching bodies. Eventually, she got to stop. Like, I don't know, is she gonna take out her mom next or something? Like, she can't keep taking. She can't do this like this. Like,
I mean, what did her sister say though? Destroy everything.
I
It.
mean, you ain't got to take it literally though. Like,
What
these your
you
peoples.
mean?
These your peoples. You can't
Look,
just be taking them out like that.
look, bro. You scare me right now.
I'm just
If
saying.
something if something happens and let's say we in a Maki my situation, I'm like, you know what, Hook, I want you to live, but I want you to destroy all these people, destroy everything. Hook, you not gonna take that literally? You gonna say I was playing?
I mean, I'm gonna take some bodies. I mean, I'm gonna save the kids and children. I can't take out all. I mean, I can't take out the women and everybody. But I understand taking off the top. So I guess it makes sense. I guess you make sense. I guess I'm gonna take everybody. Ain't nobody safe.
Wait a minute, Hook. So it's kind of like Game of Thrones when Sunday, like she's on the wall, Cersei does what she does, and the last thing she said is Dracarys. Like, and people were shocked. I noticed last season sub, but people were shocked
Sometimes you
when
don't always have
the
to resort to violence, but I guess in that moment, she was like, if they gonna kill me, like at least burn them in
mm,
my name.
jeez, Hook, I'm side eyeing you right now. If
Oh
I
my
tell
gosh.
you destroy everything, I want all the bodies. You know that song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. That's what needs to happen to everybody. But
Wow.
I digress.
All right. Well, we're gonna hit this next topic. Next topic. My Hero Academia. They're getting anime backlash because it's dragging and then like
You
people
know,
aren't completely enjoying it.
just say
I
less,
don't
fam.
understand why, but do you want to draw your sword or keep it sheathed?
We're gonna draw, sir. Um, this latest season of My Hero, I'm not sure if you've been watching it. I've been watching it the legal way, you know. It got my little Funimation account. And I
Mm.
probably should cancel.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I've been watching it and I have not been enjoying this season. So I'm one of the My Hero people that do not read the manga.
You're missing out.
And
You missing out.
well, there's certain shows where I would rather watch it animated than read a manga, and then there are other shows where, of course, like Demon Slayer back in the day, I just read the manga. You just gotta read it. But yeah, I am not liking this season at all, Hook, and I think the backlash it's getting is well deserved. It's moving extremely slow. A lot of the people in Class B we really don't care about. The author has basically kept Class B out of the story until right now, and it's like he's explaining these quirks to us from the Class B people, and it's just like I'm watching this and I'm just like, why should I care? Like,
Mm.
why should I care? Why do we have to go through this as like? Is this even a training arc? It's like it's the pacing is so slow. Like every fight between Class A and Class B, it feels like it takes like 2 episodes to reach a conclusion. And what it's to be honest, a lot of the side characters are not that. intriguing for My Hero
So
Academia.
it's like Naruto, but in hero form. That's what you're going with.
No, that's completely false, and I know you, like, got your shot in there, but if we take you out of the equation, there's plenty of people in the Naruto verse that has allegiances to the other Genin 9, and other members not that's not named Sasuke and not named Naruto or Sakura. Like, you have
People
people
cheer for
who
Sakura.
yeah, surprisingly, people did very strongly. But that's the point is like you have so many Shikamaru fans, so much so that they made a video game. And I mean, we got Storm 1, 2, 3.
That is
Like
true
it,
because he was
it's a
nice.
big
He like when he
deal,
was saying I would use him all the time. He was like one of the best characters. Like you can get in defense
right?
mode. That you could appear behind him. And I was like, man, he was okay. I get what you're saying. He's one of
Right,
the few
it's a
characters I
big
do
deal.
like.
But My Hero, a lot of the members of Class B, they don't really get that they're not really important and their quirks kind of suck to be
Dang.
honest with
All right
you.
then.
So yeah, I haven't been enjoying this season. To be honest, a lot of the people in Class B quirks are better than Class A, but Class B is not really that important right now in this series. So the best thing that happened was us finding out that Deku can complete One for All. He's the coordinate. I don't know what he's called,
You
coordinate or
try to call him a
whatever.
coordinate. This ain't Attack on Titan.
I know. I was thinking of Attack on Titan.
All right. I
All
mean,
right.
I'm
Sorry,
just
y'all.
saying.
Sorry. Sorry.
I'm
Not
just.
coordinate. Yeah. Go ahead, Hook.
I mean, this is a slow point. It's just a lot going on, and I feel like the art author is not doing a great job telling the story. Like, there's a lot of things that should be happening that isn't happening. Like we aren't getting updates on who the infiltrator is in the class that's telling all the information. We don't know anything about the 1B class at all. Any other two, like we got the three heroes that are upperclassmen, but like there's just a lot around that are just shadows because we don't know. And for it to be this long and to have all these chapters, we don't know much, and that's a problem. Like even though people, well, I don't know, yeah, I'm just not happy with. And then just like I don't know, I feel like the people consuming it aren't happy as well because it's in the name, My Hero Academia. Academics come first before any type of hero work, so they gotta do the academics and they gotta train. And I'm one of the few that have actually read the manga and is currently reading the manga. And right now, it's they ain't no more classroom. It's more hands on work right now, and it just takes a point to get there. And I don't want to spoil anything, but eventually, we're gonna leave the students, and it's gonna be the actual heroes' turn to do their job. And that's gonna be when I feel a lot of people are going to be into it because it's gonna be sort of like if I had to give a comparison. Do you even want a comparison to what it could possibly be? No,
No,
you
I
just want to.
don't.
Dang. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be big. It's gonna be nice. Things are gonna come out, even though everything's not gonna be completely explained. That I've mentioned, some things do get explained, and I feel like this is just the valley that we have to go through. Like every two mountains have a valley, and this just happens to be one of them. I just hope that the people are strong enough to stick through with it, and we can see what happens.
Not to actually, let's move on. Let's go
No,
ahead.
no, but put your point out there before we move on. I don't want to cut you off so you don't feel like you're getting your words out.
Nah, it'll be disrespectful, and I don't want that type of energy coming at me.
Word.
Let's get another fire topic in here.
All right. So I have a prop back here. Do you know what this is?
Hmm. Oh, is that like some limited edition Pokemon cards?
I wouldn't call it limited edition. It's just a Pokemon
Oh,
Vivid
just
Voltage. It's an elite trainer box. And if you didn't know, because of COVID, these cards are becoming very hard to come by, and people are fighting over it. So right now, scalpers are, they're Pokemon is taking this point to let scalpers know that they're not going to have a chance on this new set of making their money off of it. They're trying to go directly to the consumer, and I'm actually proud of it. Do you want to draw your sword or keep the sheath?
you kind of didn't give me a choice. You just went
Dang.
into it. But I'm curious. Like, first of all, people are fighting over it. Explain
Yeah,
that.
like this is like a $40 box, but online they can reach up to like 110 if you got the right box, and they're not printed to a high, right? They're not printing to meet the demand of that's coming out right now. And one thing you saw, like even if you watch the Floyd versus Logan Paul thing, I think you saw Logan Paul with like a PSA 10 Charizard on his neck, worth roughly about like $1 million.
I did.
And that like these cards are like people fighting over them. They're worth a lot of money if you know how to sell them and how to like put them out there. And scalpers right now are buying everything from the store early in the morning, selling them to the consumers at a marked up price, which is basically creating a market where like you're basically having to pay more for a card that is being short printed because they aren't able to produce them at such a high rate. And you know what Pokemon Center
Mm-mm.
did? They was like, you know what? To sort of battle that, we're gonna open up pre-orders and we're gonna just keep it open. We're not gonna have a set amount, and we're just gonna ship it to the consumer whenever it comes out, whenever we get it, because production has picked back up now because everywhere's opening back up. And now you can go on Pokemon Center now. It's been open for like a week, and you can just pre-order your cards on what you want, and it's nice. Like I'm like, man, so I'm not gonna have to worry about going to a Walmart or some local gaming store and be like, "Hey, how many you have?" Like,
Y'all are out of control. Out of control. Y'all
you
fighting
didn't
over
hear you
these
didn't hear about
cards.
them about somebody almost getting shot at a Target over some cards.
It's
Target was like, "Yeah, we
crazy.
can't sell cards here no more." And that went on for like 3 weeks. Like people was mad. Like, why they got to take away all my cards? I was like, "All
So
right,
what?
relax, relax."
So what do I do if I want to get? So my niece and nephew, huge Pokemon fans.
Mm.
My niece actually, she's really good to the point where we had a battle this past holiday season, and I mean, she was giving it to me, and I had to take a little moment and say, you know what, I can't treat her like she's a kid
Wow.
because I might have to actually think through this. So, but nah, she's really that good. So I'm wondering, like, if I want to like actually get some cards for them, I have to pre-order
Yeah, yeah. So the
now.
set doesn't release until like another week, roughly. And right now, if you can find like a local gaming store, they got built-in battle boxes, like a pre-release kit, where you can get packs, make like a little deck, and then battle with people. And you can do that. But right now, like the Pokemon Center for this new set, Chilling Reign, its pre-orders are still open. I think they're going to be open until the actual like release date happens, and then they're just like okay. And then what's so crazy? Pokemon Center has a special edition that you can only get from Pokemon Center. So I'm like, man,
Mm,
they really going above and beyond right now, because the demand for Pokemon has just jumped drastically, and it's just crazy. So maybe you could you need to get up a local card shop and see what they have. They might sell it to you early, depending on how when you go in.
yeah, we have a few. Anywho, what's next on the docket?
Word. So let's see. We got Attack on Titan. How like I know this is old news about their ending, but they have changed it now. So do you think that's good or bad? Do you want to try to sort of keep it sheath?
Keep it sheath. I want nothing to do with Attack on Titan
I'm
after
just
reading
saying
that
they
last chapter.
changed it from being
I
like this
I, I said keep it
complete
sheath,
story to possibly having a new beginning to do it all over again. They
bro. I didn't even draw
they
my
said, you
sword.
know what, we gonna pull a Boruto. We gonna try to milk this cow as much as possible. No? All right. Well, I got one last topic. This is the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. You want to draw your sort of keep it sheath. I
Was
know you
I?
saw that hugging contest. You might want to talk about it.
Yeah. So I was hanging out with some friends up here, and they were like, "Hey, y'all want to buy the fight?" I say, "Buy the fight." I say, "What?"
You don't want to see your
I
boy
say,
Mayweather go at it one more time?
I said, I'm not paying for no fight, but I'll pitch in for the food and just show up. And
Wow.
even though it's like it was only like 40, $50, I didn't think it was worth it because a regular Floyd fight to me is in his prime. To me, it was like you have to be prepared with what you're like showing up for. You're not gonna show up for like fireworks, you know, a bit like you're at Disney World. Like Floyd is a very technical fighter, so you're not gonna get what we would get out of like a Canelo Alvarez fight or a Triple G fight, where somebody might get knocked out. We're not gonna get that. Floyd, he's one of the greatest. I mean, he's the greatest boxer of his
Yeah, I was
generation.
gonna say he's still
But
up there. He ain't fall off.
to directly answer your question, he has fallen off.
Dang.
Hey,
I mean,
um,
the dude was
it,
like
it
30 pounds heavier, 30, 40
uh,
pounds heavier.
it's yeah, that's cool, but he gotta go away. It wasn't even worth $40. He's
Nah,
old. We appreciate his contribution to the sport of boxing. You didn't have to give Logan, not Logan Paul, whatever his name is. You didn't have to give him this. Floyd, we like you. I mean, we like what you did in the sport. Like you were amazing, but to put yourself in the ring, like this is the last time we actually see you fight. Like this is completely different from the Conor McGregor fight. Conor McGregor, it was not that far off from his retirement, and Floyd was still moving well, kind of in shape. And Conor McGregor was actually somebody in the sport who deserved Floyd's attention. But
dang.
this Jake Logan Paul thing, I don't. It wasn't worth it, bro. I didn't like it at all. So
I mean, I understood what it was. Like Mayweather took it as what it is. It's entertainment. It's to get new faces into the sport of boxing. So he was like, I'll do what I can to get them in there. And then Logan Paul, I wouldn't say he's a professional. He's 0-1, so he's never won. And I guess he wanted to show that he could semi box, but when I watched it, I was like, man, he was gas after the third round, and I was like, he got five more rounds. What's he gonna do? And he was hugging the whole time. I was like, man, that man, like, it was so bad. Even the ref was like, you like in the fifth round, he's like, at the end of the fifth, he's like, if this was a real match, I would have called it already because all you doing is just holding them. Like, if you can't fight,
well,
I'm just gonna stop it.
actually, that was a good strategy. To be honest with you, that's a really good strategy. It's not something that we as people who are watching the fight and as fans would like to see. But if you got 50 to 60 pounds on someone, if me and you fighting Hook in a boxing ring, if you can't knock me out, let's say because of my cardio, one of the best things you could do is lean on me during the fight.
No, 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 no.
That
There's a difference between leaning and holding. Like when you hold one person's arm and like you don't attach, and all you can see is just him leaning on him.
I see.
It's like, man,
I see.
Floyd is basically propping you up. Like he's like, man, I'm just trying to drag this out to get more views. And I don't want to say that's what he was doing, but he was trying to do what was best for the sport of boxing. And I respect that, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, like, was it
The
really
sport of boxing does not need Floyd to step in the ring anymore,
dang?
especially against
But
someone who's
but that
on
was the
the
only
outside.
person. I wouldn't say that was the only person I wanted to fight Logan Paul, but who else of name mentioning value would you be like, okay, yeah, I'll watch this exhibition? Because if
N-
it wasn't Mayweather, who would you want in there?
No one in boxing. Actually, I'm lying. Let him work his way up. Like if you are a boxer,
He's
if
not a
you are
boxer
trained.
like that though. You saw how he was fighting. He was gassed and he was just throwing little flick
Well,
jabs.
that's disrespectful to the sport. And that's where the disrespect comes in. It's like if you're not a boxer and you just doing this for fun, make sure you explicitly state that. And but it's like if you're gonna like be challenging someone like Floyd, that to
Yeah.
me that's like I mean Floyd got his bag, he made his money, but it's just
Yes, he did
disrespectful to the Floyd to the to the
to the
sport.
sport.
It's
Yeah.
like you don't deserve to have your name attached to him. What have you done? There's 100 other guys who have done much more, put their bodies on the line that deserve to be in that ring before you do. I'm all about process. Like, granted, it's boxing, anybody can fight, anybody can get in any day of the week. But when you're talking about the official sport of boxing, like before you even step to a champion like that, you gotta go through maybe 10 and 15 or 20 other guys. You know? You can't just walk on a scene and fight Canelo right now.
I think the main purpose was to get more people to view boxing because boxing isn't what it used to be. Like nobody's looking for boxing like that. So this was the opportunity to get them to get into boxing.
Well, I think I don't agree with that. I think that division has kind of been cleaned out, but right now, everyone the fight that we wanna see is not gonna happen actually with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury,
No, I
but
think they have a
that's not gonna
rematch
happen
going
either.
with who is it? I think they have a
Uh,
Wilder and Fury rematch, or like a
yeah,
third go
yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
But that's not the fight we want. We're over it.
but
We've moved on.
I think what the boxing people need, well, the people in boxing need to do is the promoters need to give us the fights we want. Like we keep getting fights that's just like, okay, we've seen this twice already. Like, what? Why are we doing this again? I think the boxing promoters need to focus on getting us the matches we want to see. Like, you got the number 2 guy going against the number 15 guy. Like, why are we doing this? Give us some real fights, and then we'll see what happens. But people want to have their perfect record like Floyd, so or as close to it as possible. So I mean, I don't see how it's going to happen unless you entice them with more money or something that they may possibly want.
Got it. All right. I agree. With that said, it sounds like we're out of topics. I
Yeah, that
think
was
you
it.
did pretty good today. You didn't you didn't repeat the greatness that you kind of pulled off last time,
I'm
where you
just
had
saying,
banger
if
after
you would,
banger
if you
after
would, you didn't
banger.
want to talk about Attack on Titan.
Nah, bro, it's okay. Anywho, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks to all you kings and queens for listening. To get more of the Wakanime Nation podcast by your boys Hisagi and Hooked, join the nation by hitting that subscribe button and check us out on Twitter and the gram. Peace.